There are few names in modern football that spark such divided opinions as Mario Balotelli. To some, he's a clown, a troublemaker, a wasted talent. To others, he's a symbol of defiance, a misunderstood genius, a man who dared to be different in a sport that demands conformity. But love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable: there has never been, and may never be again, a footballer quite like Mario Balotelli. Born in Palermo in 1990 to Ghanaian immigrants, Mario's life was complicated before he ever kicked a ball. As a child, he was placed in foster care due to his family's financial struggles and ongoing health issues. He grew up in Brescia with the Balotelli family, who gave him a new home and a new surname. But even with that stability, Mario never truly felt like he belonged. Not to his birth family, not fully to the foster one, and certainly not to the society around him. As a black child in a white Italian world, Mario faced racism early. In school, in the streets, and later, in stadiums. Monkey chants, slurs, the constant reminder that to some, he'd never truly be Italian. And yet, he never ran from it. He embraced his identity, demanded respect, and played with a confidence that often teetered on the edge of arrogance, because he had to. Because in a world that doubted him, that mocked him, that dehumanized him, confidence was his shield. On the pitch, Balotelli was electric. Tall, powerful, technically brilliant, he could score from anywhere. By 17, he was already making waves at Inter Milan. The kid had it all. He wasn't just good, he was special. And he knew it. José Mourinho, who managed him at Inter, once said Mario was one of the most talented players he'd ever worked with, and also one of the most frustrating. That duality, brilliance and self-destruction, would follow him for the rest of his career. At Inter, he was part of a historic treble-winning side. But he also threw tantrums, disrespected fans, and clashed with teammates. One infamous moment came when he tossed his shirt on the ground after a match, sparking fury from Inter supporters. He was a teenager, still trying to understand who he was, but in the unforgiving world of elite football, there's little room for grace. When he joined Manchester City in 2010, the move was seen as both a risk and a potential masterstroke. He reunited with Roberto Mancini, who had always believed in him. At City, Mario became a cult hero almost instantly. His performances were a roller coaster. He could go from being sent off for a reckless tackle to scoring a wonder goal minutes later. He was chaos, and fans loved him for it. Off the pitch, his antics became legendary. He crashed cars. He set off fireworks in his bathroom. He handed out money to strangers. He walked into a school to use the toilet. The stories were so wild that people stopped trying to separate fact from fiction. But behind the headlines, there was also brilliance. That 2011-12 season, when City won their first Premier League title in 44 years, it was Balotelli who provided the assist for that Sergio Aguero goal, the moment that changed the club's history forever. That should have been his springboard. Instead, it was his peak. His time at City unraveled. Fights with Mancini on the training ground. More red cards. More suspensions. More questions than answers. The promise was still there, but so was the volatility. City let him go, and he returned to Italy, this time with AC Milan, the club he had always supported. At Milan, there was a brief resurgence. Goals, confidence, fire. He scored 12 goals in half a season. He looked focused, rejuvenated, like the star he was meant to be. But again, it didn't last. His temperament got the better of him. His work ethic was questioned. His discipline slipped. The media hounded him. The abuse never stopped. Internationally, Balotelli's story is just as complex. For Italy, he was a phenomenon, when he wanted to be. At Euro 2012, he was unstoppable. His brace against Germany in the semi-final, especially that thunderbolt and the iconic celebration, flexing his muscles in silence, was a career-defining moment. For once, he silenced the doubters. For once, Italy embraced him. But the love never fully stuck. For every great performance, there were questions about his attitude, his behavior, his fitness. And racism, constant, disgusting, relentless, followed him wherever he went. He once said, "When I score, I am Italian. When I don't, I am an immigrant." That line captures everything. The conditional love, the double standards, the weight of being a black Italian in a white jersey. After Milan, came Liverpool. A gamble that failed. He didn't fit Brendan Rodgers' system. The Premier League had moved on. The magic was fading. Then came Nice. A surprising move, but one that briefly reignited his form. For 2 seasons, he was clinical, disciplined, happy. But again, only for a while. Then came Marseille, Brescia, Monza, Adana Demirspor, Sion. His career, once soaring, became a journey of restarts. Each move came with the same hope. This time, Balotelli will get it right. This time, he'll finally show us what he's capable of. And sometimes, he did. But never for long. What held Balotelli back? Was it his attitude? His inconsistency? The distractions? Or was it something deeper? Something rooted in how he was treated, how he was perceived, how he was never allowed to simply be Mario. There's a tendency in football to talk about players like Balotelli in terms of failure. He didn't win a Ballon d'Or. He didn't become one of the world's top strikers. He didn't live up to the hype. But that framing ignores what he did endure: the pressure, the scrutiny, the racism, the expectations, the mental strain. For all his faults, Balotelli kept getting back up. He kept playing, kept scoring, kept being himself, even when the world begged him to change. And maybe that's the tragedy, and the beauty, of Mario Balotelli. He could have been one of the greats. But in trying to survive the system, he also had to resist it. He didn't follow the rules. He didn't conform. He lived on his own terms. In the end, Balotelli is a footballer whose story is about more than goals and trophies. It's about identity, race, rebellion, pain, and resilience. He never reached his full potential. But maybe, just maybe, he was never allowed to. And still, he gave us moments we'll never forget. That's Mario Balotelli, flawed, fearless, unforgettable. If you found this story compelling, if you believe football is more than just goals and glory, but about the people, the struggles, and the untold truths, then subscribe to the channel. We bring you real stories, raw journeys, and deep dives into the lives of football's most fascinating figures. Hit the bell so you never miss a moment. This is just the beginning.